Hello and welcome to MOOC on MOOCs. My name is Sriram Rajamani. I am Assistant Director of Microsoft Research India, and today I'll tell you about a research project in our lab called Massively Empowered Classrooms, or MEC. Several of you may have used MOOCs such as edX or Coursera or Udemy or Udacity, and millions of students from all over the world have enrolled in these MOOCs, and they have learned various subjects ranging from computer programming to machine learning to history and social sciences and so on. But if you ask the question, what impact have MOOCs had in India or other such developing countries? The answer really depends on what target population you are asking about. For example, if you look at the IITs, IIITs, BITS, and the best institutions in India, they have made excellent use of MOOCs. I mean, several professors there who are world-renowned, and they offer courses on these MOOCs. Students take these courses, and the university is even given credit for these courses. However, as you know, majority of India doesn't study in these institutions. 4 million students in India study in state universities all over the country. For example, in Karnataka, Visvesvaraya Technological University, or VTU, has 230 colleges. Anna University in Tamil Nadu has 540 colleges. And similarly, each state has a large such state university with hundreds of colleges, and 99% of Indian engineering education happens in these colleges. And if you ask the question, have MOOCs made a difference to these colleges? The answer is really no. We recently did a survey in Karnataka which showed that 80% of the students in these colleges haven't even heard about any MOOC like Coursera or edX. Even the 20% that I've heard about them, less than 3% have watched even a single video from a MOOC. So that shows that there is a real gap. And the question we started asking ourselves is, what is the reason why among the 99% of engineering students in India, there is such poor adoption of MOOCs? And we did surveys, we did focus groups, and 3 main things came up. The number one thing is content mismatch with syllabus. Most students in these colleges don't know why they should be studying these material on MOOCs, because it doesn't help with their curriculum and performance in their exams. I mean, a related point is that most of them don't know what is the value proposition. Why should they even take these courses? Is it going to really help them get a job? Why will it help them get a job? Another problem is a lot of these colleges have really poor internet infrastructure. The bandwidth is so poor that, when you go to these colleges and try to play one of these videos, the streaming is so slow that it is almost unusable. So as a result of these things, researchers in our lab started thinking about how we should rethink the MOOC model so that it appeals to these 99% of the students. And the outcome was a research project called MEC. The primary idea in MEC is to give local control to classrooms. So if I'm a teacher, I'm in an engineering college in Srivilliputtur, then I want to have control over what my students learn. I want the online medium to help me, but not remove me from the process. So we built MEC with this in mind. First, the content that we offer is synced with the syllabus of the university. Second, we give identity to each college. If I'm in XYZ college, all the students in my college enroll into a course that is customized to my college. And as a professor, I'll be able to find out who all have enrolled, what videos they have watched, what exercises they have done. I'll be able to get analytics for my classroom. At the same time, we provide extremely high quality content. Like in MOOCs, we follow short videos that have been popularized by Khan Academy and Coursera and so on. We give periodic quizzes. There's forums where students can interact, and we provide the control of a classroom together with the flexibility and scale that a large MOOC is able to offer. We have taken a lot of effort to address infrastructure limitations. We have tuned our software to work with low bandwidth scenarios. We even actually make content like videos available offline so that people can view them without internet connectivity. We have written applications for phones where people can download videos when they have Wi-Fi, and they can watch them at home. And we did several innovative things where we hired a Facebook social media coordinator who does Facebook campaigns, competitions, and so on, to engage the student community and make their experience worthwhile. So how has it worked? So far, we have done 3 pilots, and we have learned so much through these pilots. We have touched 1,500 colleges in India, and more than 30,000 students have enrolled in MEC courses. We started with 1 course, which is the Analysis and Design of Algorithms course, and recently we added 3 more courses, a Networks course, a Data Structures course, and a Theory of Computation course. And we have had pilots ranging from Tamil Nadu to Karnataka to Pune to Gujarat and so on. We did pilots with the Ministry of Human Resources Development through 2 programs. The first program called the QIP program. We also did another one called the QEEE program. And we have been amazed by the positive experience that we have had from students. I already mentioned about 30,000 students have registered so far. Interestingly, 30% of them have engaged with us throughout the semester, and this retention rate is much higher than what traditional MOOCs have been able to do. And one of the reasons for that is the courses that the students are taking are things that they are already doing in the university, and they're going to have to take an exam on these courses anyway. So part of the value proposition we offer is that we are not separate from their university curriculum. We sync our content to their curriculum, thereby providing a development aid for them rather than replacing the existing university curriculum system. We have several other learnings. For example, the offline apps that we have, they are extremely well received. The phone apps we have are very well received, and the government is actually extremely interested in working with us and scaling this more. So what have we learned? We have learned, for example, that context matters. If you make the syllabus relevant to the local colleges, then there is more interaction and more traction with both students and faculty. We know that bandwidth and access matters. If you make your software such that you can view videos offline, streaming works even with low bandwidth, then more people are able to use these kinds of tools. Awareness matters. If you do social media campaigns with Facebook and so on, and connect students with their community via social media, then we see that critical mass gathers quickly. When we offer certificates, and certificates and credentials matter. Other thing we have learned is that using such a platform, you can do extremely interesting research in online learning. One of the biggest open questions of online learning is whether these kinds of MOOC-like environments, do they matter at all as far as learning outcomes are concerned? We can actually count the number of people that enroll, the number of people that take quizzes or something, but have they actually learned the subject, right? We have been able to do randomized controlled trials where we have been able to take students with similar economic backgrounds, similar educational backgrounds, and similar performance backgrounds, and then to some random set of such people, we administer MEC. And to a certain set of other people, they were not exposed to MEC. And then we offer tests to see which group has learned and mastered the material better. We have also done several experiments, such as how does it work for a teacher to use these online resources together with classroom education? Can they actually play videos in a classroom? How would that work out? How do students learn when people do that? Several other questions like plagiarism. For example, how much do students cheat in these online exams? We, as an experiment, we did an online quiz where we had a very difficult question. Several students actually got it right, and we wondered how they got it right. They must have passed these answers to each other. And then we had an in-person exam where we asked the same question. And the same students who actually took and aced the online exam, only a small number of them were able to answer the exact same question when we put them all in a classroom and we offered them an in-classroom test. There's other things we are doing, such as there's an enormous amount of research that is going on in automatically generating problems, intelligent tutoring systems, and so on. How well do these things really work? When you generate variants of a problem automatically, is it actually fair? Are all these problems having equal difficulty? MEC has provided us a platform by which we can experiment and answer these kinds of research questions. So where are we now? We are open for business. We are a fully functioning research and experimentation platform, and we invite all of you to join us and work with us. You can learn from our courses. If you want to teach a course on MEC, you can partner with us and we can help you offer the course on MEC. If you're a researcher and you want to do research experimentation, you can come talk to us, and we are very happy to collaborate with you and help you even do your experimentation with the large number of students that are there on our platform. So MEC is a big research undertaking. There are several people from Microsoft Research that are involved in it. We have listed all of their names here. We are also fortunate to have collaborators in the community. For example, Kameshwari Chebrolu from IIT Bombay, Kavi Mahesh from PESIT, Madhavan Mukund from Chennai Mathematical Institute, Madhusudan Patsardi from University of Illinois, Ram Rustagi, Viraj Kumar from PESIT, and several others have helped us in various ways with providing content, doing experimentation, just talking to us and providing us advice, and so many other ways by which people have helped us. Please visit us at http://mecr.org and check us out. Join us and be part of our community. Thank you.